In my previous video tutorial, we have discussed about the respiratory volume, and to understand it properly, the different respiratory volumes I represented with this graph, which makes the whole different types of respiratory volumes of lung a very easy representation so that it can be understood very easily. So in this video tutorial, we will start a very important part of the chapter, breathing and exchange of gases. We will discuss about the exchange of gases and the mechanism, and till the end of this video tutorial we will learn how the exchange of gases takes place in the lungs as well as in the body tissue between the alveoli and blood in the lungs, and near the body cells between the cells and the blood. So let's start this video tutorial. So the exchange of gases. Exchange of gases here, the gases means oxygen and carbon dioxide, because our body utilizes oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide. So the exchange of gases. What are the gases? We will talk about the oxygen and carbon dioxide. This is important. So the breathing is the purpose. Why we breathe? Breathing is the purpose, or the purpose of breathing is to provide continuous supply. It provides continuous supply of oxygen to our body and to constantly remove carbon dioxide. Continuous supply of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide from our body. So breathing, the purpose of breathing is done in order to give or in order to supply oxygen to our body, which is utilized in the cell to produce energy from the food, and as a result, as a byproduct, carbon dioxide is released in the cell, which is removed or it is taken out from our body. So all these means supply of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide is the purpose of breathing. So without blood, this cannot be possible. So the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide is done with the help of the blood. So blood is the transport system for oxygen and carbon dioxide. Exchange governed by behavior of gases. The exchange of gases is governed by the behavior of the gases like the oxygen and carbon dioxide. So the behavior of gases as described with the help of two gas laws. We will explain the process of exchange of gases by using two gas laws. So what are the two gas laws? One is the Dalton's law. And the other is the Henry's law. So these two gas laws we need to understand in order to know how exchange of gases takes place between the atmospheric air and the blood in the blood vessel, and between the cells of our body and the blood. So let's understand Dalton's law first. So breathing, as we know it, its purpose is to supply oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. So according to Dalton's law, each gas each gas in a mixture of gas, in a mixture of gases, in a mixture of gases exerts its own pressure, exerts its own pressure. That means irrespective of how many gases are present in the mixture of gases, each particular gas has its own pressure. It exerts its own pressure as if no other gases are there. No other gases are there. So the pressure exerted by a specific gas is independent of the presence of all other gases. So as we know, the partial pressure P, capital P, the total pressure exerted by the mixture of gases, is the combination of each and every gas present in it. Okay, so this means capital P is the pressure exerted by the sum of the gases present in the mixture, and P1, P2, P3, these are the pressure exerted by each single gas present in that mixture. Okay, so it is independent of the other gases present in the mixture of gases. So what is Henry's law then? What is Henry's law? The amount of gas dissolved, or the amount of gas dissolves, depends on solubility of the gas in the fluid. So amount of gas dissolves depends on solubility of the gas, solubility of the gas to the fluid, with the fluid. Okay, solubility of gas with the fluid. Then another important thing is that the temperature of fluid, it also depends on the temperature of the fluid and partial pressure of the gas. Another one is the partial pressure of the gas. Okay, so these are the different important aspects of the Henry's law, how the gas dissolves into any liquid or any fluid. So as blood is a fluid and the air is in gaseous state, so how the air comes in contact with the fluid and diffuses into the fluid depends on the solubility of the gas with the fluid, whether the gas is soluble with the fluid or not, then the temperature of the fluid to which the gas will dissolve, and the partial pressure of the gas in the mixture of gases. So what is the partial pressure of the gas? If the gas exerts a larger partial pressure, then the chance of diffusion will be more. If the partial pressure of the gas will be less, then the chance of the dissolve of gas into the fluid is less. So this is the Henry's law, and the Dalton's law is the pressure of the gas is independent of the other gases in the mixture. So concentration of gas dissolved in a fluid such as plasma, here the fluid is what? With the fluid, this fluid is the plasma of blood, here the plasma. Okay, so amount of gas dissolves depends on solubility of gas to the fluid, with the fluid, temperature of fluid, and partial pressure of gas. Concentration of gas dissolved in fluid depends directly on its partial pressure in the mixture of gases. So it directly depends on the partial pressure of gas in the mixture of gases. In the mixture of gases, what is the pressure of that particular gas which will dissolve to the fluid. So the partial pressure plays important role here. Partial pressure is the pressure exerted by that gas in a mixture of gases. So remember, so in a mixture of gases, this is the pressure of the total different types of gases which are present in the mixture of gases. So the pressure, total pressure is capital P. P1 is the gas, the first gas that exert a pressure, or the partial pressure of the first gas is P1, the second gas in the mixture is P2, the third gas is P3 likewise. So it is symbolized by Px. The partial pressure is symbolized by Px. Okay, so Px means here the subscript is the chemical formula of the gas. So X here is the chemical formula of the gas. So if we are talking about the pressure exerted by oxygen, we will write that as, here in place of X we will write the chemical formula of the gas, like PO2 means the partial pressure of oxygen. Likewise PCO2 is the partial pressure of carbon dioxide. Okay, so it is denoted with Px. X is the subscript, which means the chemical formula of the gas which exert the partial pressure. Okay, so this is how we understand. Before going in detail about the exchange of gases, we need to understand these different aspects of the dissolve of oxygen and carbon dioxide, how they dissolve into the fluid, that is the blood or the blood plasma. And these two laws are important, the Dalton's law and the Henry's law, and how they explains the way or the amount of gas and their diffusion, how they are related with the fluid, its solubility means solubility of the gas, temperature of the fluid, and the partial pressure of the gas in the mixture. So let's go in detail about the exchange of gases. That means the internal and external respiration. Internal and external respiration. This is all about the Dalton's law, how it plays important role, on the Henry's law. So let's understand internal and external respiration. Internal and external respiration. Okay, so internal and external. Oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuses from area of higher concentration to area of lower concentration. So the oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuses from the area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration, or higher partial pressure from the area of higher partial pressure to an area of lower partial pressure. Okay, so it will diffuse from a higher partial pressure to lower partial pressure. Okay, so internal respiration and external respiration. In case of the internal respiration means here the exchange of gases between the systemic blood and the cell or the tissue, we can also say. Okay, the exchange of gases between the systemic blood or the systemic gas, the exchange of gases between systemic blood and the tissue or cells. So systemic blood is having higher concentration of oxygen, it will have higher concentration of oxygen, and in the cell the concentration of oxygen or the partial pressure, here we can say the partial pressure of oxygen is less, but the systemic blood is having less carbon dioxide and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is higher in the cell. Okay, so here the exchange of gases takes place, means from higher concentration, as we say, from higher partial pressure to lower partial pressure, the oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuses. Okay, so they diffuse from higher to lower partial pressure. Here the oxygen is of higher partial pressure, so from systemic blood it diffuses to the body tissue. Likewise, here the carbon dioxide in the body tissue is of higher partial pressure, so it diffuses from body tissue to the systemic blood. So this is the internal respiration. It takes place in the innermost part of our body at the cellular level. But in external respiration, we will talk about the pulmonary exchange. So external respiration. In case of the external respiration, what will happen? In this case, the exchange of gases occurs between the pulmonary gas, or we can say it the pulmonary exchange. Pulmonary exchange. It occurs in the lungs. It occurs in our lungs. Okay. So the exchange of gases between alveoli and pulmonary blood capillary occurs between alveoli and pulmonary blood capillary. So the alveoli is with high amount of oxygen because the inhaled air takes fresh air from the atmosphere to our lungs, and the amount of oxygen in the alveoli is of higher partial pressure, whereas the pulmonary blood is having a lower partial pressure of oxygen. So as we know, it diffuses from higher pressure partial pressure to lower partial pressure. So oxygen from the pulmonary or the alveoli, from the alveoli diffuses to the pulmonary blood capillary. Likewise, the carbon dioxide here in the pulmonary blood capillary is with higher partial pressure, and in the alveoli it is lower, so it diffuses from the pulmonary blood capillary to the alveoli. Carbon dioxide diffuses. So from systemic blood, from blood to cell, oxygen goes. From cell to systemic blood, carbon dioxide comes. Then blood takes the carbon dioxide to the lung, where the blood gives the carbon dioxide to the alveoli and takes oxygen from the alveoli, and again supplies that oxygen to the cell and receives the carbon dioxide from the cell, and again comes back to give it to the alveoli of lungs and take oxygen from it. So this is the way of exchange of gases. So what is the partial pressure here? What is the role of partial pressure? We know that when it is higher in some place, it comes to the area of lower partial pressure. But what is the partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli? What is the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the pulmonary blood? Let's discuss in detail what is the difference between the partial pressures. So let's discuss all the mechanism of gaseous exchange, how it takes place, with a simple diagram. How exchange of gases takes place with the help of the difference in partial pressure through diffusion from a region of higher partial pressure to an area of lower partial pressure. So let's discuss it with the help of a simple diagram. let's take it as the pulmonary. Let's assume that this is the pulmonary capillary. This is the pulmonary capillary. Okay, so this is the pulmonary capillary, and pulmonary capillary is near the alveolar sac. It is near the alveolar sac. So let's consider this as the alveoli. These are the air sacs or the alveolar sacs present in the lungs, present near the lungs. Okay, so these are nothing but our alveoli or the air sacs of the lung. Okay, so now the exchange or the pulmonary exchange of gases takes place between the pulmonary capillary and the alveoli. So here I can write down here the pulmonary gas exchange occurs. Here the pulmonary gas exchange. Okay, so this is the internal respiration or the intake of oxygen from alveoli to blood capillary, and from blood capillary to the alveoli, the travel of carbon dioxide. Then after getting oxygen from the alveoli, as we know, oxygen from the alveoli, the oxygen will diffuse into the blood capillary. So by taking oxygen, it becomes oxygen rich or oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. Okay, so after being oxygenated, it travels to the left atrium. As we know, the left side of our heart contains or carries the pure blood, and right side carries the deoxygenated or impure blood. So it travels to the left atrium of heart. So here it is the heart. It travels to the heart. Then the heart receives pure blood, and after receiving pure blood, it receives pure blood from the pulmonary vein. And through pulmonary vein, oxygenated blood travels to the left atrium and reaches the heart, to the left side of the heart, to the left atrium. Then the heart will pump the blood. The heart will pump the oxygenated blood to the systemic capillaries. Through the aorta, it reaches the systemic capillary. So this is the systemic capillary. So it reaches the systemic capillaries. Systemic capillaries means the capillaries that reaches each and every body cell. So this is the, let me draw with red so that you will understand easily, because the systemic capillary is having oxygen rich blood from the heart, which comes from the lungs after getting oxygen. Okay, so this is here, this is the body tissue. Different cells I am drawing here, having the nucleus at the center. So this is nothing but the body tissue. Or we can also say the cells. Okay, so now the systemic tissue, this is called the systemic tissue or the body tissue, we can also say. So the pure blood reaches here to tissue or cell, it comes to tissue or cells. Okay, this is the pure blood which is pumped by the heart with the help of the aorta, the largest artery. Okay, which reaches the systemic capillary, and here the systemic gas exchange occurs. Here the systemic gas exchange occurs. Systemic gas exchange. As here the pulmonary gas exchange occur, here it is the systemic gas exchange, or we call it the internal respiration. This one is the external and this one is the internal respiration. Then the blood becomes deoxygenated, it gives oxygen to the cell and becomes deoxygenated and return to the heart again. It returns to the heart again, to the right atrium. Here it was the left atrium, here it is the to right atrium. As I have told you, the right side of the heart always carry the deoxygenated blood. So this is what kind of blood? Deoxygenated blood. Now the heart pumps it again to the lungs. It again pumps the impure blood to lungs. So this goes to lungs for purification again with the help of the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and all this. From the heart, the heart receives with the help of the superior and inferior vena cava, and the heart pumps it to the pulmonary capillary with the help of the pulmonary artery. Okay, so here it was the pulmonary vein, here it is the pulmonary artery. We know that all artery carry oxygenated blood and all veins carry deoxygenated blood, except this pulmonary artery, which always carry the deoxygenated blood, whereas all other artery carry oxygenated or pure blood. Here the pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood, whereas all other veins carry deoxygenated blood. So this is how the blood gets purified in the lungs, then comes to the heart, supplied to the body cell, or the systemic gas exchange takes place between the body tissue and systemic capillaries. Then the blood gets deoxygenated, comes to heart and again pumps to the lungs for purification. So what is the partial pressure? What is the role of the partial pressure we were talking about? So let's discuss in detail. So the partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli, partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli is around 100 mmHg. 100 mmHg. So the partial pressure of oxygen is very high in the alveoli because it gets pure or fresh air from the atmosphere by inspiration. And here the carbon dioxide is very less. The partial pressure of carbon dioxide is only 40 mmHg. Okay. So what about the pulmonary gas? Means in the pulmonary capillary, what is the concentration of or the partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide? Here the oxygen is very less. Here the oxygen in the pulmonary capillary, the partial pressure of oxygen is only 40 mmHg. Only 40 mmHg, and that of the carbon dioxide is 46. So here the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 46 mmHg. Let me write that of oxygen in red so that you will not get confused. So the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 46, whereas the partial pressure of oxygen is only 40 mmHg. So the difference is between the partial pressure in alveoli and the pulmonary capillary is much more. So from the alveoli, oxygen diffuses from the higher concentration or higher partial pressure, that is from 100 mmHg to 40 mmHg, till this partial pressure will not reach, till it will not be 100 mmHg. So the oxygen starts diffusing from the alveoli to the pulmonary capillary till the partial pressure of oxygen here rises from 40 to 100, making it oxygenated. Likewise, here the carbon dioxide, you can see Here the carbon dioxide is 46, but here it is 40. So it diffuses from 46, means from the pulmonary capillary, it diffuses, means the carbon dioxide diffuses to the alveoli till the partial pressure of carbon dioxide will not get reduced to 40 mmHg. Okay, so now after pulmonary gas exchange, the oxygen comes to the pulmonary capillary, making the partial pressure from 40 mmHg to 100 mmHg, and the carbon dioxide from the pulmonary capillary diffuses to the alveoli till it reduced to 40 mmHg, making the blood oxygenated. So in the oxygenated blood, here we can say in the oxygenated blood, the partial pressure of oxygen is 100 mmHg and carbon dioxide is 40 mmHg. Now it travels to the body tissue. So the systemic capillary is having the same partial pressure as that of the oxygenated blood. So I can write here the partial pressure in the systemic capillary. The PO2, partial pressure of oxygen, is 100 mmHg, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 40 mmHg in the systemic capillary. And in the body cells, the oxygen is here, the partial pressure of oxygen is how much? It is only 40 mmHg, 40 mmHg, because the oxygen is utilized in the cell, and the carbon dioxide here is 46 mmHg. Okay, so now what happens? From higher concentration to lower concentration, the exchange of gases will occur. Again, it is the systemic gas exchange. So here the oxygen from higher concentration, that is from systemic capillary, comes to the body cells, and the carbon dioxide from partial pressure 46 diffuses to that of 40. So carbon dioxide diffuses from body cells to systemic capillaries, making it deoxygenated, and oxygen comes from the systemic capillaries to the body cells. So this exchange is called the systemic gas exchange or the internal respiration, and here in the lungs it is pulmonary gas exchange or the internal respiration. Then after this exchange, the systemic capillary, which was with higher partial pressure of oxygen, becomes less and become deoxygenated. So the deoxygenated blood is now having partial pressure of oxygen equal to 40 mmHg, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is higher, that is 46 mmHg. So now the carbon dioxide, the pressure of carbon dioxide become much more, and it is now 46 mmHg in the deoxygenated blood, and in the oxygenated blood it is 40 mmHg. So this is the whole process, how the exchange of gases takes place in our body. In the lungs, where oxygen comes to the blood, being higher partial pressure in the lungs, and carbon dioxide goes to the lung, to the alveoli, being higher in the pulmonary capillary. Likewise, it comes after being oxygenated, the blood gives the oxygen to the body cells, as the partial pressure of oxygen in the systemic capillary is more to that of the cell, and carbon dioxide from the cell diffuses to the blood as it is higher in the body cells. Then the blood becomes deoxygenated, carrying higher partial pressure of carbon dioxide, that is 46, less partial pressure of oxygen, that is 40, and again travels to the lungs with the help of the pulmonary artery. So this is the whole process of the exchange of gases. And what are the different partial pressure in different places, like the alveoli, the pulmonary capillary, in the oxygenated blood, in the deoxygenated blood, in the systemic capillary, and at the body tissue. So this is all about the exchange of gases. If you have any doubts, please comment below. If you like this video, hit the like button so that it will encourage me to make more videos for you. If you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much.